Hey, what's going on? First time doing this. Don't judge me for it. Hey, I'm learning. But new mic, SCV7. You can hear it right now. Usually I'm using a Rode NT1, so we're going to be comparing it to that later. But first impressions of this thing, let me switch to where you can see my screen now. So the signal chain I have for this right now is Channel Strip 2, Birdum Denoiser, Pro Key 3. Two analog obsession plugins. One's a preamp sort of emulation, and then the other one is just an LA76 copy. And then I go into a limiter at the very end. The things about this though, needs a lot of EQ. Here's my EQ. Now, look, I get it. It looks kind of shitty. That there's a lot going on here. I promise. There's nothing too crazy. Like the maximum cut is like this one right here. This one's dynamic. I have some dynamic cuts in here for low end as well as some sibilants, but I had to do a huge high boost. Here's how it sounds completely dry. And you can hear it. Hopefully, if you have my ears, right, you hear what I heard. Too dull. There's a lot of low end in it. There's like no highs. It's completely like rolled off. And I'm not a big fan of that. So yeah. So I did end up cutting the lower mids a little bit and some of the mids, higher mids, I noticed a little bit of a nasaliness to it. So I did bring that back a bit. Big boost in the highs. But, one thing though, before we continue, I'm looking at this from a voiceover perspective. So we're not going to be playing any instruments or doing anything like that today. Maybe I'll look at it in the future, but I think let's just go ahead and compare it to my usual microphone. The one in all my videos, you hear me with the Rode NT1. So let's compare it to that. So here is a dry SEV7. You will hear some preamp noise in it, and the reason that I really like it is because of how well it handles room rejection, which we'll go over next. Here is a processed V7, which I, again, really like the way it sounds. I think should be, in my opinion, I think this should be the go-to mic for new streamers. Okay, so now you're hearing a dry Rode NT1. One of the things that I can instantly point out about this mic, picks up a lot of noise, man. There's no preamp noise, but there's a lot of room noise. All right, and now you're hearing a processed Rode NT1. Obviously, worked out a lot better. So there's that. Let's move on. So now I've switched to the NT1, which I'm just going to hold it because I don't feel like fucking unscrewing this thing from the one mic arm that I have. But this thing definitely handles the room rejection a lot differently than a supercardioid dynamic. Makes sense. Let's go ahead and go over that and show you what I mean. So for this little test, what I'm going to do is take the V7, flip it around, and I'm going to back up a bit and start playing the acoustic guitar. And this is, as you can hear, there's no background noise removal on it right now. This is to show you the room rejection of it. Now let's go ahead and do that with a Rode NT1. Hopefully that illustrates as well as I wanted it to that this thing is fucking crazy for room rejection, right? I mean, it didn't pick up anything. So yeah, good mic. All right, so we're going to go ahead and round this video off with a bit of final thoughts. I'm talking on the V7 right now. I'm a big fan of this thing, man. I think it does a really good job when it comes to noise removal, in terms of like room rejection. It's super cardioid dynamic, so it's going to do a good job. The one thing though, you need to have a preamp with this, and a pop filter. But other than that, hey, not bad. I think it's really worth $100.